Hey everyone, you're probably seeing this title as the title says Donald Trump is malfunctioning. And I'm gonna let you guys know right now, I'm not a political commentator. I'm just, who knows, maybe I'll become one, but not in the way you would see it, right? Just me alone being solo, doing my own thing. I'm not gonna be working as an actual, right? I'm just like, I don't know how you can see me as someone who is now trying to learn and make sure I say it the right way, right? To be honest, when I usually missaid and misspoken things, it was because of not just what was going on there, and I was new to what I was looking there. I was never around a conflict. I never had this thing happen around me. I was never around when it happened with something like this. My dad, he was around during a World War II. He was around this world, young kid and everything, around when the World War II was happening. But I was never used to like any type of conflict. I was not used to seeing a conflict or seeing it happening, listening to it happening. To where I also went through a lot of shit, worrying about my mom, my dad, and of course my sister. Now, I started learning about the type of things that foreign law was usually going to be created from this guy, but now he wants to make it much worse than what he was planning to do it, right? But now the things that he is doing, he is not just putting his own political party as a target, he's also trying to put the Democratic side as a target, even though Democrats never had anything to do with his own conflict against Iran, right? He was the one that put U.S. military troops out there. A lot of these military troops either got killed or went to critical condition or paralyzed, and they came a lot. I don't know. I would say a few of them probably came back alive, right? They were in critical condition. But now here's the thing: Fox News, they're gonna be targets, but Trump is the big target of them all. They want Trump. They'll probably take him out and probably take him to their own spot there, right? In a hidden spot there. And one of the reasons why he is the bigger target, he abused the religion. One of the words that is used there, right? I don't want to say it because I don't want them to think of me. They'll probably be seeing this. Iranians, they're probably looking and they're probably thinking, because they probably don't know like fluid English, but they know really good. Okay, they can understand to an extent, and they know how to use technology. Trump never thought that they would know how to use a drone. He never thought that there'll still be a lot of them. Okay, that are now right now. A lot of these Iranians are making sure that the small village there and whatever spot they're trying to make the good use of to keep themselves surviving. Okay, you have the Houthis, right? But the Houthis is not in the side of Israel that other people like Republicans like Trump try to put it as. They are not from the side of Jews like in Netanyahu, okay? They're just a small villagers, right? They're a small amount of villagers, but let's say compared to back then, this time and age, there's a lot of them, okay? And they are getting their way straight through Seattle. Any type of influencers that supported Trump, and the influencers that Trump tried to put that were never supporting him, of course, he's using AI pictures. He's AI generating pictures of all these existing politicians we have now that are either the good ones who are trying to expose him, and he's also using AI generated images of leaders that have passed on had got attacked, right? Uh, you had one of the how you say it, one of the Kennedys. Uh, I would say, what was it, the younger brother or the older brother? You know, you had two of the brothers, the Kennedy brothers. I think that just got shot, right? They got assassinated. But it wasn't because they were trying to do wrong. No, these Kennedy brothers, they were trying to do good, right? And then you have Robert F. Kennedy, the guy who's the one making it where he knows about medication, healthcare, and everything. Okay, then why did he used to have a parasite in his brain from being in dirty water? In like a puddle of dirty water. Or a river where it was dirty water. I don't know. This guy is like, he's sick, he's mental, and then Trump is even more worse. He sounds and looks more psychotic. You see the things that these other people, these young political commentators are showing. They're showing the type of messages this guy would try to put on the social media platform that used to be called Twitter, that is now called X. He's so crazy. He's psychotic. And he's trying to blame that other side that didn't really get associated, who are Democrats, right? And then he's putting things of his own party, even probably Fox News reporters. Who knows? He might do that next, right? To be honest, he don't need to put anything to show through Fox News reporters, right? They already see everything. Iranians, they already see everything. They're paying attention to the side that is the threat, and that is Trump and his Republican Party and Fox News and the bad political commentators that are associated with Trump. And some of these political commentators, they're just independent, right? Let me just say something. You have Nick Fuentes, okay? I don't think he's really considered a political commentator, but he could be on behalf of Trump, right? You have a lot of political commentators that are usually big fans of Trump, right? But those are the ones that are usually corrupted billionaires. And let me just tell you, Hassan Piker may be the next target as well, due to him saying so. He supports foreign law, right? Who knows? It could happen, right? If not, Iranians go after the actual targets, right? And then, Hassan Piker, he could be seen as not a United States citizen because he misleads the United States, and he misleads affordable health care, and he misleads Democratic Party. When you mislead through foreign law, saying that Democrats support foreign law, then you are now completely misleading with everything else. Here's the thing. I feel like Democrats are the better choice. The reasons why is because at this time and age, through Trump's first term and second term now, these Republicans have done a lot of damage. And in the first term, they were only able to do damage to a minimum, right? Now, that second term, the first time he lost that second term, Biden won that first part of there. He even got the chance to serve a second. Okay, Biden got the chance to serve close to 4 years. Okay, Biden was actually kind of better than Trump. Okay, and his Republican Party that support himself, right? Trump himself. If Trump had paid attention to the math, then he wouldn't be stupid and say miscalculating things about the tariffs. And he'll say, how, do I see 11,000 votes? Oh, right there, we have 11,000 votes. You do not see 11,000 votes. You have to earn your voters. Your people have to see you as a political figure, as an actual political figure, and a leader. A lot of these Americans are not seeing him as a political figure and as a leader. But his own party, yeah, they'll probably see him as a political figure, right? Money, wealth that is going away. It ain't staying with them. It's going away. The money that they took from a lot of the things they stole from Iranians, okay, that money went back to them already. That oil, that crude oil that is usually used to make a lot of different types of things, including fuel, diesel, gasoline. Iranians took that away because the type of thing he did was when he tried to steal it, it went bad. Okay, he couldn't really use it. To where why is the climate got worse? It wasn't because he didn't make charcoal to put in that fire. No, he put trash, waste, chemicals. That is what makes it worse. When you have actual garbage littering from putting in fire and then it goes up as smoke, and alongside trash being littered all over the city, depending on what part of that city you're in, all over that area. Chemicals go even further, right? And then when you have people who go to a beach at summertime, they're eating barbecue, they're eating fish, barbecue fish, and they throw it in the ocean water, right? They throw it in the shore, the water sweeps it in, right? Sharks, fish. Here's the thing, there is no fish, right? You have sharks, and why is Shark Week a thing, right? We try to learn why sharks attack people when they go to a beach on a nice summer day, right? A nice summertime. Well, no fishes to eat. Now, they don't know that there's no fishes to eat because the water is so dirty, right? The shark's eyes, sharks are not able to see, but they're able to feel and hear vibrations, like splash in the water, you know? But like all this can increase a lot of problems, a lot of damages. Because let's say, I'm going to put this as an example because a lot of gamers see this as it's Sony's fault entirely, it's Microsoft's fault entirely. No. It is the economic system and much more. Because you have the conflict Trump tries to put continuously, when at this point he's not really a part of it, but he puts Netanyahu above the situation, and Netanyahu is the one doing this conflict over there on behalf of Trump. Let me just say something. That one side of Israel where you have families and they are Jews, and that don't really try to get any part involved in this death. They have to see their loved ones die. Even Iranians, they have to suffer the most damage, the most loss, to where now they take things very seriously, okay? And they have a lot more Iranians now compared to Jews in Israel. You have a lot of good Jews, but you have a lot of corrupted people in America, to where you have a lot of decent amount of corrupted Jews too, right? There's going to be a lot of bad Americans, there's going to be a lot of good Americans who would try to help others, and then you have the bad Americans who want to take advantage and blame the other person for something they didn't do, or another country for something that other country never did. That's just something they try to put the lies on that bad side of history that the other side did. A lot of things that were caused through damages in the history of the United States, you had mostly just white supremacists. But then white leaders didn't really, you had some white leaders and some other white leaders that one side did harm, one side tried to fix the damages that they had made, right? Right? Abraham Lincoln, think about it. he was being misled to where, that one whole shit happened, right? You had a war then too. Then he tries to, he hires a person who used to serve a military, who used to be the general, right? And he asked this guy, do you know how to take care of this problem? Can you help fix this? Right? This general, he took care of the threat. They won that war, right? But like, I don't know the full-on way on how it went, but Abraham Lincoln, and you had this guy who used to be in there, right? Who used to be in that war, who got involved, who had to see a lot of loved ones die, right? But then you think of that and you see it to where now Trump is trying to bring that bad side, that bad history of not just a conflict or war, but he tries to bring a misleading on religion, like a lot of his party there. And let me just say, Ted Cruz is also going to be one of those big targets. Like, what did Ted Cruz say in front of the little children, right? And help Trump say, yeah, hey, you see these kids? These people here are going to supply you, these Republican Party are going to give you $200,000. And you know what? You can probably work in McDonald's and probably become the owner of McDonald's one day. Dude, to be honest, McDonald's may be in a worser shit than you guys as well. And one of those reasons is the food that McDonald's has. McDonald's, they have food. That fast food is really, really trash. Compared to before, there's been things that sneak up that were making people sick. Okay? Parasites in salads that they serve there. Depending on where they're getting it, where they're getting these vegetables, what kind of markets they get this from. And this is usually through Trump's farm, right? The farm that some of his friends are working through, right? But it can happen to every other farm, right? They could just sneak something in. And here's the thing. I feel like Wendy's is a better choice than McDonald's, okay? Even though a lot of people prefer actual American fast food. Who cares about actual garbage food? To be honest, if I did went for at least one burger or so, it would be to Wendy's. I would prefer Wendy's over McDonald's, right? Fresher ingredients, better taste, right? But a lot of people, they have a different taste in fast foods. It's understandable. But like, if you see the things that McDonald's have to have problems through in different locations, in certain locations, man, and then you see what Donald Trump is doing, be very careful when you go to a specific McDonald's. Make sure you look and see when another person eats to make sure you know if you see it's safe, you're seeing it's safe, right? But don't rush in. And I would say this through any fast food, okay? Because very bad to go to these restaurants at this time of year. You have to wait it out. Make a home-cooked meal. Eat something fresh. And if you go someplace, best go to a Chinese restaurant, okay? They only make cooked meals. So meaning you are more safer with a cooked meal than with like a salad from McDonald's or any type of fast food restaurant, okay? Best to have a salad that was like just lettuce in a bag, okay? It's better to have packed up lettuce, okay? Nothing else. Don't get it when it's like a ball of lettuce. That is more riskier compared to before. I mean, a lot of things are riskier regardless, right? Depending on how they handle the produce, okay? But I feel like wrapped up lettuce would be the better choice. If you had if you see a bag of lettuce, not lettuce that is out showing itself revealed, exposed to like bacteria, no, don't go for that one. Go for a lettuce that is packaged in a plastic bag, with a brand in it. It would be a little bit more wiser, a little bit more safer. And I'm just mentioning both ways, produce and this guy and this asshole and his Republican Party that are supporting him with this full on outrage. The Houthis are not really some people who try to be considered killers. No, they're not people that are killers. There are people like everyone else who have to feel like this guy and his own political party there who is supporting the things he's doing against them. And here's the thing, they're not, like, the Houthis are not together, but they are a resistant force, okay? They shouldn't mess with these people. The only reason why these Houthis are attacking is they're angry, they're frustrated, they're worries. They're not really trying to attack on purposely, okay? They're trying to attack the ones who they are seeing as a threat to their own race, their own nationality, okay? They don't have to be in the same village. No, these are basically small villagers that at this point is not a small crowd, okay? They're just a resistant organization. That's what they put it as, right? We don't really know too much about it. But like, whatever happens to Trump, whatever happens to his Fox News supporters supporting him, right? And some of these political commentators like Nick Fuentes and a few other political commentators for this guy, let it be done. Because now I'm going to put something that I learned that was from a Christian Bible, right? That one saying, that one word, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Meaning, now you're going this path, you are now going to be stuck and forced to continue going this path. There's no going back. He is now forced to continue with what he's going to bring upon himself. And it's weird because I learned this word from a guy, a content creator, who usually just works on gotcha content. I don't know him. I never talked to this guy. I've seen a lot of his videos, a lot of his streams here and there. Gotcha smack. This guy is a father, and he is a true parent at heart. I remember I saw a few videos, the things that he had to go through. And he has a daughter, he has his wife, right? That one moment where I heard the things that him, his wife, and his daughter had to go through because they ordered some type of Mexican food, right? I feel for him. I'm not a father, but I'm a son. And I feel for family because I have family. My mom, let's just say, she's not really in the best spot right now. She's in a nursing home. She has dementia and Alzheimer's. She has been taken advantage about from some of her family, her brothers and sisters. A few of them had taken advantage of her by lying to her or relying on her. My dad has to worry every day of his life. This whole year he had to worry. This whole year was like he feels like he's empty, man. Without my mom here, she's in the nursing home. We're next to that nursing home, but like when he's here, and he's usually in his in the porch here, watching the TV, watching the news. Sometimes he'll switch to a show or something. And my sister, who is with us in this house, she sleeps in her room in this house. She has physical damage. She 2 years ago, she had a heart attack. She almost died. She almost went down. But the thing is, she called one of my cousins, that my cousin, she took her to a nearby hospital. One of the spots I used to go to when I was young for like being in clinic, she had tubes. I went there once to see my sister, when she was in that position. I couldn't look at her. I try to look at her. I try to smile, but it was hard. So much pain, fear. I had all that. To where I also had drama from the three people in that one same house. My mom's brother, uh, my uncle's granddaughter, and his wife. They always bring their own suffering and worries upon others. Their own feelings. They try to bring it on other family, right? When my mom's brother, my mom's other brother, okay, my uncle Nati, okay, and his wife, my aunt Norma. I call her Mama Cola, because she's kind of like, I don't know how you say my third grandma. I see her as a third grandma, When she passed on, it was like, what happened? Because they called, my cousin, she called and let my mom know in her side of the room, my mom's side of the room, where my dad sleeps with her. They had got that one call that one night. I was like, I opened my eyes and I tell him, I was like, uh-oh, something happened. That had to be my aunt Norma, right? So, at this time, one of my male cousins, my younger cousins, the son of my aunt's daughter, I don't want to say their name, I want to respect their privacy, their identity. That is between me and my family and them. My cousin's mother and him, my other cousin there, my cousin's mom told people, or my cousin's son told my other cousin, Sully, and a lot of other families, please don't bring anything that can make my mother feel worse and sad. Please respect our wishes, right? Don't post no memories because they'll only bring them tears. Now what happened? My cousin Sully, my aunt Tati, and my uncle David. My aunt Tati would tell my cousin Sully, my aunt told her, put in memory of, Tite Norma, to show how much we care. Dude, man, they told you and every other family, do not do this. Respect their mother's wishes. What happened? They didn't do that. They did not try to respect those wishes. You felt sad your own whole life. Why every time when you come to our house to visit mom, to where you would always try to say, oh, I know one pill and one cream that'll help everything. Sully, I love you. You're a good cousin, even though you don't see me that way because, you see it as just because we're not blood related and you were put into a family because your grandma got in cahoots with my uncle. So that is your grandpa. Who cares about blood relative? You were married. Your grandma was married into my mom's brother's family. To us, we will consider you as family, and we would welcome you. But if you do this and put your own feelings into other people, and then lie and make shit up, and put a scam by saying you're trying to to ask people if they're willing to buy a cream, and you're saying how it would help and it'll fix one whole problem. That is going to get you in trouble by government officials. Okay, see, YouTube, the 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 CEO of YouTube can see what you would post. You know, that is recorded into their database. Even if you had removed that video was still recorded through on their site. So where, let's say, even though you delete it and it's still there, they'll check it out and then they'll call government officials, but not the site I'm putting, not Republicans, okay? They'll call some type of government security to see this and say, this is that lady that was young, this young lady was the one that said all this. Okay, we have to take her in. That's something you don't want. I don't want. But like everything that's happening now is more corrupted than what it has ever been. And that is mostly because of Donald Trump, the President of the United States, and his corrupted party himself. And this is bad. And I'm going to say, this is the worst situation. He has put the American military people and the American people who voted for him or talks good about him and praises him. So, alright guys, peace out and God bless everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And next one I'm going to be just making my Let's Play.